Hey everyone, Happy Dude here, and thank you for joining me. So the last diecast model that I showed you was the Nissan Skyline from Too Fast, Too Furious. And the movie started with that incredible fake CGI race where the Nissan Skyline raced against the Toyota Supra, a Mazda RX-7 and a Honda S2000. And then the race ended where they jumped over a bridge and Brian with his Nissan Skyline winning. Now, it's a total mystery to me how the Nissan Skyline survived that, but it did. And then the police shows up and fires an EMP on the car, which is totally realistic. So that little parking meter did more damage than the jump on the bridge. Now, I always wondered why simply not reuse the Nissan Skyline for the rest of the movie because it's such a cool car. Well, I searched the internet and the movie just had a contract with Mitsubishi. So, gone is the Skyline. And this is the replacement for Brian, a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 7 from the brand ERTL Racing Champions, and for Roman Pierce. The Mitsubishi Eclipse Spider, also from ERTL Joyride, both in scale 118 and made out of die-cast. And I found these cars for a very reasonable €200, which is a steal because they were never out of the box and the ribbons are still on there. So let's get on with the review. Okay, let's remove the ribbons. And bam, there goes half the value. Okay, let's start with a roll test of the Lancer. That's pretty smooth. We don't have any suspension action. This is the bottom. Pretty detailed, I have to say. The exhaust is nice and shiny. Okay. The wheels do turn, and so does the steering wheel. And now the Spider Eclipse, also very smooth, and also no action in the suspension. And this is the bottom, and on this one, not the whole exhaust is nice and shiny, it's only the end tip here. Okay. And now the dimensions. The Lancer is 24 centimeters long, 8 centimeters high, and exactly 10 centimeters wide without the mirrors. With the mirrors, it's 11. And now the Spider. This one is also 24 centimeters long, but only 7 centimeters high and 9.7 centimeters wide, and with the mirrors it's 10. And now the weight. First up, the Lancer, and that is 812 gram or 28.6 ounce. And the Spider, which feels way more heavy, which is weird because it's the same dimension and we don't have a roof. Oh wow, 925 gram or 32.6 ounce. Now let's take a closer look at the details of the Lancer. The paint job looks very nice. It's a very special yellow. The graphics appear to be the same, but I believe that in the movie they had a metallic or chrome finish to it. It's hard to tell. The wheels look the same and they are not chrome, so that is correct. We do have some brake calipers in there, red here and red in the rear. I can also see the disc brakes. Okay, pretty nicely detailed. And this is the rear of the car, and here you can really see that metallic paint. A huge spoiler here in the rear, and the trunk can be opened, and of course there's a NOS bottle in there. The exhaust fits very nicely into the bumper. We have all the sponsorships, even the one here at the window. Okay, the windows are not tinted, so they also weren't in the movie, so that is correct. The front doors can be opened. We don't have any windows here, it's open. We only have windows in the rear door, and the rear door cannot be opened, like on a lot of models. We only have that on very expensive models. The interior appears to be very movie correct. Yeah, we also have the little screen there in the dashboard. Okay, the seats are also the same. They are made out of hard plastic. Same for the dashboard and the floor. We don't have any carpet in ERTL models. And here's the other side. And 3 pedals, that is correct because it was a manual. And a little gauge here. And also on the middle of the dashboard. Okay. Yeah, very nice. And this is the front of the car with independent window wipers. And oh, it appears that the left mirror is a little bit higher than the right mirror. I've seen this on a lot of models, so I think it's just a mistake from the factory. And this is the engine bay. Oh wow, that's actually pretty detailed. Very nice. Yeah. And this is the front bumper of the car. Oh, I can feel the grille. Nice. And you can also see the xenon lights in the headlight. Yeah, pretty nicely detailed. And now it's time for the Spider Eclipse. And this is actually my least favorite car from the whole Fast and the Furious franchise. But it is the most valuable as a model. It's worth something like $500. Yeah, I just don't like the shape, but I do like the graphics and the color. It's a very nice purple with a lot of metallic in it, and this is the only purple car that I have, and that's the only reason I wanted it. So we do have disc brakes and just gray brake calipers, but very shiny chrome wheels.
You will ride eternal, shining and chrome.
And this is the front of the car, and the window wipers are separated. Yeah, and on this model the mirrors are completely straight and much more secure than on the Lancer. You can open up the doors also on this model. Oh, this seat can go forward and backwards, but not this one. Now the interior is actually not that super detailed. In fact, I think it's one of the least detailed models from ERTL, which is weird because it's a convertible. You can see everything. They should have put more effort into it. So that makes the question, why is this model so valuable? I don't get it. Oh well. The seats and the dashboard and the floor, it's all hard plastic. And here's a close-up of the console. Yeah, and the steering wheel is the same as in the movie. The diecast has a little bit of a lump here. You can see that in the reflection of the light. We don't have that on this side. Okay, so this is the rear, also with a huge spoiler on the trunk and a very big exhaust. Look at that. And in the trunk, oh, 2 NOS bottles. Yeah, so one is not enough. And this is the front of the car, and we also can open up the hood, but it's a bit more tricky than on the Lancer. Okay, I got it. And here's the engine bay. Not as detailed as the Lancer, so again I'm wondering why this model is so valuable. I think probably because it's just a rare model. Okay,